Hello, I'm Greg Skulmoski, and I teach effective project management here at BOND. And today I'd like to talk to you about this class and why we think it's an important class for all our students to take. So, let's begin. So today I would like to begin by talking about the demand for project management, and then move to our effective project management class and why it prepares our students to meet this demand for people experienced and knowledgeable about project management. Then we'll jump to a little bit of a class description, and then I have a practical example to show you some of the powerful tools and concepts and how you can use it at work. In our class, we use a lot of theory, which is important, but added to this theory is a strong component of practical tools and techniques that you can use on most projects most of the time. So we cover theory that you can use tomorrow to help you be more successful in your projects. Whether these projects are in regular business, non-profit organizations, working for the government, at the local, national, and international levels. What you're going to learn is theory and practical tools and techniques that you can use for most of your projects most of the time. I'd like to bring your attention to a recent report that's about project management, job growth, and the talent gap from the Project Management Institute. This research report looked at the jobs and the demand for project management in the next 10 years. And every year between now and 2027, employers throughout the world need to add an additional 2.2 million project-oriented jobs each year. That's a lot of growth, and that's a lot of opportunity for those project participants who understand project management and can step forward to fill this need for project-oriented jobs. It doesn't matter what sector you're in. More and more industries, manufacturing, information services, finance, insurance, so on and so forth, require individuals working in projects. And this report was for 10 countries throughout the world: China, India, United States, Japan, and so forth. So by 2027, almost 100 million individuals will be working in project management in the next 10 years. It's a very exciting opportunity for those who have the skills and knowledge in project management. Next, I'd like to talk about threshold skills. You need these. These are skills that people need to be minimally competent. That is, they need these threshold skills. If they don't have threshold skills, then they're unable to effectively do their job. And without these skills, people become obsolete. Currently, threshold skills are many depending on the industry. But more and more, we find that people need digital fluency. People need to be good with computers, finding information in databases, using search engines, email, and other types of digital platforms, tools, and other types of technology to help them to be contributing members in the organization. However, people in organizations usually work together on teams. So team innovation, working together with other team members to provide innovative solutions to opportunities and problems. We need to have these new types of skills. Another type of threshold skill is project management, to understand the basics of projects, the basic processes, and the basic theories of project management, so that when you're called upon to contribute to projects, you have the basic skills to be a desired and contributing member of the project team. So without these threshold skills, you risk the chance of becoming obsolete. When we look at the data and the trends, we find that the high growth positions of today and tomorrow have a requirement for project management. That is, even though you're not a project manager, you're required to have the ability to contribute to projects. So in these high growth positions, these positions require the ability to contribute to projects. So project management is not just for project managers anymore. High growth positions need project management skills, theory, and processes. When we start our class, Effective Project Management, at the beginning I ask the students, what do you want to learn in this class? And here is some examples of what students who took the class said they wanted to learn. For example, they wanted to learn how the project management framework works. So we take a systematic study and review of project management and the project management framework. We also look at how to manage international teams, how to deliver on time, how to deal with uncertainty, and how to shorten the project plan. So students come into the class wanting to learn these sorts of things, and in the course of effective project management, these students learn what they want to learn. So what do you want to learn? Think about it. And when you join our class, we'll talk about that, and we will go beyond course content to make sure that these learning expectations are achieved. This is your class, and you will come away with strong skills and experiences to better meet the demands of tomorrow. So effective project management is not only the theory that you'll pick up, but it's practical tools and skills. That's why I'm excited about this class, is because it has something for everyone. You will be introduced to the most important theory, tools, and techniques. And we package them in ways that they become immediately useful to you in your work. Effective project management has taken the skills that organizations need today and the skills that they're going to need in the future to successfully deliver projects, and we have put these critical skills into a course called Effective Project Management. We begin with planning and identifying the scope. So we will show you how to manage scope and to break it down into tasks that we can then schedule and budget. And today I'm going to show you a technique which has been very, very important in my career to successfully manage projects, beginning with understanding how long it'll take. So we will develop a schedule and a budget, and in the class I'll show you how to manage priority in the project and how to look out that this priority could change throughout the project. If you can do these tasks well, you'll be able to deliver value, but we have to manage risk along the way. So these are the skills demanded by business, and these are the skills we develop in class. When you're finished this class, you're going to find that the most important concepts, scope management, schedule and budget management, managing risks in an integrated project management framework, are the skills that business needs, and you will be able to add them to your CV. So, we will show you that you can add project management to your CV, and you will strengthen your career with project management. This class uses online resources, so you do not have to buy any books for effective project management. All our mandatory resources are online and they're up to date. The way the course is structured is that we have balanced assessments. We have a major team report that you and your team members will complete, usually on teams of 3 or 4 students. There's also a final exam at the end, and this final exam is open book. You take the exam, and you can use any resource that is helpful to you. And we suggest resources that are from our own online curriculum and any external resources that you might find helpful. So we have a balanced assessment where we have both an exam and a team report. And by doing it this way, we find that these become fair and valid assessments. Okay, so here you're asked to provide estimates. How long will it take to complete 4 activities? And you might say, I think activity A will take 10 hours. And activity B will take 4 hours. Activity C, 12 hours. And activity D, 24 hours. This is a very common way of estimating. Okay? Very common. Most project participants use this technique. But I want to show a better way. We're already capturing techniques like this. What I'm going to show you is to ask 2 more questions. Okay? So this is PERT estimating. P-E-R-T. And we begin by asking how long will it likely take. So we have the estimates. But then we say, okay, if things go perfect, I mean really well, how long will it take? Well, it will take 5 hours. But here, activity B, if things go really well, we can get it done in 2. Activity C, 9 hours. And activity D, if things go really well, we can get it done in 2. Now, one of the things that I've learned over the years is that we call this perfect and likely, and later I'll do an outrageous. This is what people have difficulty with, is the perfect and outrageous. And we have to convey the idea that perfect goes really, really well. So for example, 24 could be, that is how many minutes it takes me to get to work. I have to go through traffic and like this. However, I might be able to do it in less time. And we talk about how you could do it in less time. So what might happen is that you might come to work at a time where there's very little traffic, perhaps on the weekend, in the middle of the night. So we try to think of the best case scenario to get something done. Next is, how long will it take if things go very, very wrong? Really wrong. And we might say, in this case, it could take 117 hours. So for activity A, we think it could be 5 if things go perfectly. However, we think it'll likely take 10 hours. But if things go very badly, it will take 117 hours. Okay, now we're looking at risk. Okay, we think we can get it done in 10 hours, but if things start going very badly, and not just one risk, but problems are compounded, so it jumps from 10 all the way to 117. Activity B, again, things could go very badly, and it could take 24 hours. Now, activity C, 15 hours, and activity D is 28 hours. Okay? So, now I have PLOs, and this is also called 3-point estimates, or PERT. Now, what I'm going to do is write a simple formula where it's perfect plus 4 times the likely plus outrageous divided by 6. Okay? That is my calculated estimate. So let's look what that looks like. Here, this is 27.0 hours. So I put these numbers 5, 10, 117 in this formula, and I get a calculated estimate. I can continue this with this set of numbers. My calculated estimate will be 7, 12, and 21, for a total of 67 hours. Okay? 67 hours. Now, the interesting thing here is that we have a calculated estimate, things going perfectly, likely, and outrageous. And now I can start working with my team to understand these numbers. And I can find these numbers where this is 18, this is 50 hours, and here is an example where when someone says, how long will it take? Often in projects, people can't answer because they aren't doing one activity, they might be doing 4. So what number does this person give me? Do they give me 50 or 18 or 184? That's why we have the formula that's a calculated estimate with a weighted average of 67 hours. Now here is the interesting thing here. Look at these two numbers. Likely versus our calculated estimate of 67 versus 50 hours. So because our outrageous addresses risk, our calculated estimate includes some of this risk. And instead of offering 50, we can tell the project manager we think it'll take around 67 hours. Okay? That's why I like this technique, is that we then account for risk. But what I'd like to show you now is we have really learned something important. For example, I look at activity A, and as a project manager, I would say, what happens that makes us jump from 10 to 117? What can go wrong? What are you telling me? And so here, there could be a problem with integration. So in this case, we have risks related to integration. We think we can get it done in 10 hours, but if integration has challenges and problems and retesting, it could jump out this far. So then as a project manager, I want to work with this team member to make sure we come closer to 10. Now, we can see activity B, we can get it done in 4 hours, but it could jump to 24. Okay, and we could say, why? What happens that brings us from 4 all the way out to 24? And the problem here could be delivery. Something about delivering some of this equipment where we think it can be done in 4 hours, but if we have problems arranging the delivery, we can't get what we need, it could jump all the way to 24 hours. So again, I work with my team to understand what I can do to bring it in to 4 hours rather than 24. If I look at C, there's very little risk. This is called a narrow range estimate, 3, 12, 15. I'm not worried about that activity. But let's look at activity D. I think it'll take 24 hours, but if things go really badly, it'll only be 28. So there's not a lot of risk there. But look at this. If things go perfectly, I can get it done in 2 hours instead of 24. So here we have an opportunity, and maybe what we need to do is upgrade servers or other equipment. So for me to achieve 2 hours instead of 24, I need to take care of the servers to do that. Okay? So now at the beginning of my project, from this team member, not only do I have how long it will likely take, but also when I include some risks, I can see that I do have risks, so I will use 67 hours and not 50. And I know that I can crash if I have faster servers, jumping down to 2, and I have some risk that I'll manage with my team. So at the start of my project, I have a lot of information to the answer, how long will it take? And I've used this in the last 7 years with my teams, and they feel confident to give me estimates on how long it will take. When I only use single point estimates, sometimes they don't know what number to give me. Do they give me 10 hours or 117 or something in the middle? When they don't know, they don't tell me. And I lose days and days and days that I can't get an answer. But when I meet with them face to face with perfect, likely, and outrageous, set up my Excel template, I can very quickly go through the activities and the range estimates. And very quickly, I can come up with a number that the team member and I are happy with, that I can add to my project. This is PERT estimating, and it's a powerful technique to help understand risk at the beginning of the project when you can do something about it. These are the types of practical tools and techniques that we study in the class, and it has helped me, and I'm sure it will help you. And so you have seen that we can capture our PLOs with team members using Excel. This has been a very powerful technique, and I have found that after I have used this a few times with team members, they very quickly understand how to give estimates, and this exercise can often be completed 5, 10, 15 minutes, depending on the team member. Team members like this, and it's a very quick way to capture 3-point estimates. I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been very fortunate to have 2 careers. First, I'm an academic who's taught project management, but also I've been very lucky to actually be involved in projects. So my PhD is actually in project management, and I've taught project management throughout the world in the faculties of IT, business, and civil engineering. I've completed research in project management competency, project success, project management offices. And this has led me to more research in innovation and adaptive project management. I'm also looking at gamification and ways that we can make learning more effective. And you can see from my bio that I have an MBA. It's been an important accomplishment for me, so I understand the skills required, the dedication, the commitment that you have made. I encourage you to continue. You've made the right choice. I've also been a project practitioner for about 15 years. And I've progressed from just being an analyst, where I had a little bit involvement in project management, to becoming a key input, a key resource. And eventually I started managing projects. And last I was a program manager. So from 2011 to 2018, I managed complex projects in Abu Dhabi. And I'd like to tell you about that experience. What we did is I worked for Cleveland Clinic, Abu Dhabi, and we built a hospital called Cleveland Clinic. It's a massive, massive hospital. It has more square feet than the tallest building in the world. Think about that. This hospital has more square feet than the Burj Khalifa. But along with it, it has advanced healthcare systems and technology, such as medical gases. So throughout this large hospital, we built the most advanced healthcare IT systems at the time. To give you an understanding of the size, here, this foyer is the equivalent of 2 football fields. It's massive. And inside, you can have palm trees inside this large foyer. Marble floors, palm trees, 2 football fields long. It's an amazing building, and I'm so proud to be part of this mega project. One of our goals was to make our patients feel comfortable. So we wanted our hospital to look like a 5-star hotel. So here's a patient room. We've tried to make it as comfortable as possible so that healing can occur. Our operating theater allows for the most complex projects and procedures using innovative technology. We were the first in the MENA region, Middle East and North Africa, to offer multi-organ transplants. So within a year of opening, we were able to put together surgical teams of doctors and nurses with the complex technology to support these types of multi-organ surgeries. Amazing. It's such an accomplishment with these people coming together in this project. Part of the reason why this project was successful was the CEO, Dr. Tomislav Mihaljevic. Now, this surgeon pioneered robotic surgery with the Da Vinci team of hardware and software developers. So he pioneered robotic surgery, and we have had fantastic patient outcomes. One of the things I learned from Dr. Tommy is that he said, you do not get to the top by doing less. And that's what brings all of us to a master degree. We're not doing less, we're doing more, we're learning. And I'm inspired by the surgeons and nurses and healthcare professionals who worked on my projects that showed me how to be a serving leader and to work in healthcare projects by doing more and not less. And I have found that these simple tools and techniques that we use in projects can apply to most projects most of the time. So what we're going to study in this class are tools and techniques I have used in Cleveland Clinic, Abu Dhabi, for the last 7 years. And I've been very fortunate to have been recognized by the Middle East and North Africa by winning a security award for outstanding risk management last year. So these simple techniques have worked for me, and I'm going to show you how they can work for you. So join me. Let's make this class successful together. What I would like you to think about is if you provide estimates in your job. Someone comes to you and say, how long will it take for you to do these 3 activities? So if you have a job like that, and you have to provide duration estimates, or even budget estimates, then I would encourage you to set up Excel using PERT estimates rather than offering single point estimates. There's lots of online resources about PERT because it's simple to use, effective, and powerful. So join the successful project participants. Use Excel with PERT estimates. And my second recommendation is join us and take effective project management and stand by and watch it advance your career. So thank you very much for joining us today. We're excited about effective project management, and we know from our previous students it's been a very useful and practical course for them, and it's helped them with their careers. So come join us. We look forward to seeing you, and thank you for joining us.